Thank you, Dr. Platt. Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to be here and see you guys all around the world. I'm very honored to share my clinical experience about 20 years about loading and how to place, how to load, and without any failure. So I'm going to talk about the 20 years of searching of the what is the key for implant success and AnyTime loading. Everybody doesn't know what is the AnyTime loading means, but just tell about me. There are a lot of problems in the world, but if there's a problem, there must be a solution. That's the me and neo-biotech philosophy. So for 15 years, we've been developing a lot of products for solving our dental clinics problem. So we're going to about the implant solution and sinus solutions and loading solution and peri-implant solutions and also the prosthetic solutions. A lot of things, GBR solutions and digital and the future solutions. But today we're going to focus on loading. How can you load implants after we place implants? As you see here, okay, we place 3 implants, okay? And somebody try to do submerge all the time. And somebody wants to non-submerge with connecting healing abutment like this. And somebody who are very aggressive, they want to do load right after placing implant, as you see there. How about you guys? You always place implant and submerge it, even if you got the 40 Newton centimeters. There's plenty of stability. But I'm a prosthetist who wants to finish prosthetics as soon as possible. That's the prosto guy. And I don't want to wait until implants are fully osteointegrated. But I still want to get 100% success. How is possible? Professor Dr. Tano, everybody knows, has lectured about immediate loading in 1995 in Boston University. I was studying there for 5 years, but he lectured about the immediate loading. He placed 9 implants in the mandible, and he submerged 4 implants because, you know, some implants will get failed. And then with the 5 implants, he loaded implants at the day of surgery. That was 1995. It's a long time ago. I was shocked. And he said, you know, about 95% success. There is no difference between submerged implant and immediate loading. Do you believe that? It was 1995. It's a 5-year clinical result. He's talking about immediate loading with the full arch bilateral fixed bridge. So I was shocked. And they said the guideline for success of immediate loading have to use a screw type of implant, rough surface implant, and also place implant in tripartism and sprint it all implant together rigidly. So I graduated in 1997 in Boston University. I was very excited to the loading with the full arch fixed. It was 1998. This is the fourth case I did in Catholic University. I became a full-time professor in Catholic University. Okay, in that case, I removed all teeth and placed 5 implants on the lower jaw and got with a surgical guide. I placed 5 implants and in 1 week, because I want to do immediate loading, so I made a rigid framework. On top of that, we make the provisional restoration, so they want to get rigid splinted all implant together. In 1 night, overnight, I did my work, and in 1 week, I delivered all the prostheses, provisional prostheses, in 1 week. And after six months, the definitive prosthesis delivered successfully. 15 years later, as you see there, perfectly maintained. So I'm sure, full arch fixed bridge, immediate loading, very predictable. But how about the partially edentulous cases? Is that one of the predictable treatment modalities? At the time, only 2000, there was almost no clinical studies on that. So nobody knows, nobody do it. And the partially edentulous immediate loading at the time. So I did experimental study with the animal, with 4 beagle dogs, and 24 brand mark implants, smooth surface implant, and 3 implants in each side, and immediately loaded. Right side is splinted, the other side is non-splinted. I want to compare together which one is better. The result is over 87% success. The 3 implants failed. Statistically, no difference between splinted and non-splinted. And histopatological finding, there's no difference. What I found there, it works. Even though, as you see there, the dogs, chew with a very heavy bite with the lateral force, a lot of lateral force, right? But it works, 87%. I was surprised there. So I continued to do the immediate loading. So the study, 5 years from 1999 to 2003, clinical study, 4 groups, full arch group, and partially anterior multiple, and posterior multiple, and single implants. So I was very excited, especially for the immediate loading on the unilateral posterior multiple. I was very excited. So the patient was 41, 125 implants was placed, and loaded in 1 week. This is the first case I did in the posterior maxilla in 1998. 3 implants placed, immediately loaded. And 2 months later, it's like that. And then 6 months later, we changed to the final restoration. And as you see here, 13 years later, it's perfectly maintained even in the posterior maxilla. Everybody see that? So the results of 5 years, 91% success. So fully edentulous, as you see there. The result, cross-arch splinted group showed highest survival rate, as I expected. But the linear splinted posterior mandible maxilla, multiple implants, this is still high success rate, right? This is very exciting for me. but the single crown has the lowest survival rate. Why? Why does the single case have a lowest survival rate? Because of a lack of stabilization, because of a single standing, right? And difficult to manage to prevent overload. Overload may lead to micromotion, exceeding 50 to 100 micrometer, which may cause osseointegration failure. Conclusions from the study. This is very important. Loading time. Everybody thinks this is the key factor for osseointegration, but it's not. That was not the key factor. Time is not the key factor for osseointegration. Now, what is the main key for osseointegration? What do you think? Everybody knows that. Key might be the immobilization, stabilization of the loaded implants within 50 micrometers, as everybody see that. So how can you prevent micromotions during mastication before implant get osseointegrated? Maybe prosthetic design, minimizing lateral forces, and implant design and drilling protocol and placement protocol preventing micromotion. So we've been developed many things. Implant design for AnyTime loading, and sinus lifting, and also we developed the CMI fixation concept from 2006. So first of all, neo-CMI implants we developed 2006. It was unique taper and powerful thread implant like this. It was 2006. Out there, no taper body implant like that was there. And also, I developed the SSA technique, which is a sinus crest approach with drilling at the high speed in the sinus, but without membrane tearing. Membrane never teared with that technique. But the reason I developed this technique is not only the lifting the sinus, but also we get the good fixation from the inferior cortical lobe of the sinus. It was the reason I developed that. And also, 2010, actually it's 2008, we developed the CMI fixation to get the good fixation for immediate loading. So I published it in 2010 and 2017. Especially, this is a fixation in the inferior cortical wall. That's why CMI instead of a CMA fixation. And also, we spent a lot of time to make the implant design for AnyTime loading from 2006. As you see here, it's a very aggressive and taper implant like this. So what is the characteristic of the CMI implants? We have a magic thread to get the good fixation in the soft bone like this. And also the apex design which is very narrow and taper, but it's good for self-tapping and self-compaction, and also the powerful apical fixation, as you see here. And also it's very easy to insert, very easy to get fixation. So we have I'm very happy to have a powerful thread like this. So it's good to place implant in the sinus area, even though we have a very limited bone, but almost we get 40 Newton centimeters because of the CMI implant design. As you see here, in the posterior maxilla, it's only the 4 bone, but we get about 30 to 40 Newton centimeters. So the history of taper implants, long time ago, we used a straight body like that. And Nobel replaced, come out in 2005. And Neobiotech CMI implants will come out 2006, as you see there. But it's different from the others because, we have a very good thread to get the good fixation like this. Nobel Active come out 2010. And surprisingly, Straumann, they come out the taper body in 2015, and eventually they deliver 2009 PLX, as you see there. So they changed, Straumann, they changed their concept from the conventional loading to immediate loading. It's 2019, but Neobiotech, we are sticking to the immediate loading protocol in 2006. And also we have IS2 active and IS3 active. What the difference is, IS2 active as a biocell, like this 0.5 millimeter biocell, to allow the biological width. But the IS3 active, we have only that platform switching there, so that the implant, the bone is go up to that there. But which one is better? Somebody like the IS2 active, somebody like IS3 active, different concept. But both of them, we have a good success rate for 10 years. IS2 active has a 0.8 pitch, and IS3 is 0.9 pitch like this. The pitch is a little bit different, but the surface is same, like SLA. So we recommend for indication of IS2 active is good for soft bone area, like a posterior maxilla and a soft bone like a D3, D4. And it can do the immediate placement, immediate loading in the posterior maxilla. But IS3, is good for a hard bone area. But we can of course we can place implant in the whole area too. But we can do immediate loading or immediate placement. So somebody can use any one of these. Okay, GAO group, we did the retrospective study on the CMI IS2 active. The 4 clinics and the total implants placed is 2,674 implants. We do the immediate loading and early loading, immediate placement, and the sinus area. We follow 5 years. This is one case here in the posterior mandible. After extract in the extraction socket, we place implant. We have a gap at the time of surgery. And now 3 months later, healed like this. So we finished this case like this. But 9-year follow-up, as you see there, from 2 years here, 9 years is perfectly maintained. And also from 1 year like this, and with the 10 years later, it's perfectly maintained. Even we do the immediate loading on the extraction socket. This is the result of 5-year CMI IS2 active. As you see, there is a very high success rate, over 98%. Any area in the posterior maxilla, postmandible, any area, we have a very high success rate. And also it's grow up, overgrowing, without bone loss. So for 5 years, over 80%, 90%, there's no bone loss. And we have a good surface, which is SLA, which looks like this, but it's almost same as Straumann SL active. And also the osteoblast like the CMI SL surface. I'm very proud of having that kind of surface. For example, one thing, we placed that IS2 active in the posterior maxilla here, only 1 millimeter left here, we place implant, and we do the bone graft. After 4 months later, see here, 4 months later, we do the stability check, we got 81, which means, surface is very good. And the second is, why not load between 1 week and 2 months? What does that mean? What's the definition of immediate loading? It's within 1 week. How about early loading? After 1 week and 2 months, okay? But do you want to load the implant in that period? Right? Probably not. If you get over 30 newtons to 40 newtons, and then why not do immediate loading or early loading? Because you have plenty of stability. Why not? Every day, every time. You can do the loading right after place implants, and 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Why didn't you do that? Because we know, even if we get a good fixation, but after 1 week, maybe the stability will be decreased. Everybody knows that because of this is a stability dip occur after 1 week until 4 weeks and goes up, then we can load implants after 2 months. So that's why. But different thinkings. Is that possible to eliminate the stability dip or osseo intuition failure? Because we have some unknown failures, early failures. Nobody knows the reason. Why? I came out the idea in 2013. We might eliminate the stability dip, as you see here, like this. This is the old bone like this. It's decreased because of the bone loss. But if the bone, old bone is not resolved, is not observed, then the new bone is created, the total stability will be increased, no decrease at all. So this is kind of, theory, theory. We didn't prove it yet. It was 2013. So once we get over 30 Newton centimeters, it never get down. So that I can, touch and make an impression, do the loading anytime. How? How? Maybe it might be possible by altering the drilling and implant placement protocol. Okay, implant design is important, and implant, how to place implants, how to get the fixation. So I and my GAO colleagues have developed clinical drilling and placement protocols with the CMI IS2 active and S3 since 2007, by which we expected to minimize the stability dip. Now we know that, the result. We have some evidence showing no stability dip. So we did a study. No, I didn't do this, but if somebody do this, the study by Dr. Kim, and it compared with the IS2 active and some other implants. They follow their own protocol and to see, is there any stability dip or not. It was 2013, and dental implant research there. And the result was there was no stability dip in the CMI active implant comparing to other implants. There's a dip there. This is an animal study. And what is the reality of the stability change of CMI active? With neo-drilling implant in human. I mean, I'm interested to the human. So we did a study at the implant stability test in 145 implants in 770 patients. We found out almost no stability dip at all from 63 to 75, almost no change at all. And there's two kinds of measuring device for stability. One is austere mantle and the perio test. But what is the weak point of austere mantle? When we the measuring the implants in 1 week or 2 weeks, sometimes implants come out like this. So it's very jeopardized. So we developed that the implant stability measuring device like this, and it's very easy to measure and very predictable. It's only 2 seconds needed to get the stability.
But also teeth, and this is an IST unit that we've been using in the office. Very, very effective. I like it because you don't need pegs to go into your implant systems. You can do this with healing abutments or standard abutments. You can even get a reading on natural teeth. And the IST readings are very similar to what we already have learned with ISQ readings. And so this is a very nice machine because I like that I don't have to remove my abutments in order to get a reading of stability.
We place IS2 active 3 implants, we get 84, 85, but in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, as you see here, almost no change. And so we did to make impression in 2 weeks, and definitive prosthesis in 4 weeks. Okay, I did it, and the 3 years follow-up, there's no problem at all. So this is one retrospective clinical study on AnyTime loading. It was 2013. It published in JOMI. A retrospective result of implants for partially dentures posterior jaw according to time points. So we loaded, as you see here, is 290 implants, CMI implant placed 100 patients, and in the Seoul University, and provisional prosthesis delivered 1 to 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, and 6 to 8 weeks. The periapical radiograph was taken, and the marginal bone loss level was evaluated on 24 months of loading. So the result was the success rate was 97%, even though we did the 2 weeks loading and 4 week loading and 6 week loading and 8 week loading. No difference at all. And the marginal bone loss was like this, 0.3 millimeter after 2 years. There's no difference in maxilla mandible, no difference between any area, any times. The area result of marginal bone loss around CMI implant, as you see here, is almost no bone loss. 8 years. So what is the result? Success rate is 97% for 2 years, and there's no difference in loading time. So this is the evidence of clinical evidence for the AnyTime loading. So what does that mean? No difference in loading time. we could load implants between 1 week to 8 weeks, in which nobody wants to touch implants because, we don't want to get failed. But study shows there's no difference. If you're using neobiotic CMI implants and follow the protocols, no difference. And all that many data we published in 2010 and 2017. And thank you so much for attending and pay attention for me.